Hello, my friends. How are y'all doing? I hope everybody's doing good today. I hope everybody is staying warm and dry. It has been raining its butt off here. But we got Brown Eyes and Cheryl. Hey, Blue Eyes. Hope you are doing well. Hi, Melissa and Bella. Girl, I didn't call you back. Did you notice? I got awake. I took a nap this morning, guys. I was only awake for a couple hours. And I took a 1 hour nap. But, anyways, hi, Alexa. How are you? Oh, we're going to talk about some of that tonight, Alexa. Hang in there. So let's see who else we got up in here. Hello, Peggy. Thanks for being here. That's so sweet of you to join us. There's TJ. I'm fired. Oh, Lord. It was a lazy day. It was one of those rainy, lazy days. But, anyways, uh, TJ, we're going to have to do something about our blue eyes. Girl, you take care of yourself. We need you good and healthy. Y'all keep praying for her. She still is battling a lot right now and needs our prayers for sure. No thanks needed, girl. Melissa, it's snowing there. Lucky you. We just have some cold rain today. It is cold and rainy and wet. So, lots of people been getting some snow. That's awesome. I love snow. There's Cheryl. Hey, girl. Thanks for coming back. Hi, Mimi is 6. How are you? Good deal. Well, guys, there's a lot that has happened in the last couple of days. And I do apologize for not coming on last night. Our little man turned 7 and we had a dinner with him. And by the time I got home and I had brought my granddaughter home, we got here and got her shower and got her all tucked into bed and everything. So, anyways, it was getting so late. I just didn't come on. But my goodness, I feel so sorry for Sebastian, guys. Yeah, he was so funny. He brought his little friend with him, and him and Miles are like best buddies. They're like each other's support animal type thing for each other. And he's got a little dirt bike. It's gas powered and everything. And so then, anyways, they were talking about him getting this, and his other grandpa says, "Well, Miles, did you ride it?" And he pats him on the head because he's about that much shorter. Pats him on the head and said, "He's too little." Like he was something little tiny, but it was cute. But we had a good time celebrating him turning 7 years old. Oh, goodness. They just grow up too fast. It was cute, Blue Eyes. He's too little. And Miles just as happy as can be. But I've been listening. And guys, Sebastian is so lost. He's even more lost than he was the day he went missing. And it breaks my heart because there's no sense in it. There's no reason for all the games that continue to get played. And one side puts out some information. Well, of course, the other side has to put out information to correct what was said, because everything one side is doing is to make the other side look bad. Now, we know we heard Tony, most of us heard Tony come on to Mr. and Mrs. E and Aunt E and talk about a situation with Sebastian. And that situation basically plays out like this. They were having problems with Sebastian at school, at home. He was acting out. His mother and stepfather made a decision and calls his father to let him know that they are planning on putting him into a school, a home type of situation. And his father asked to give him some time. He wanted to check into the place. So when Seth starts checking into this facility, there's been approximately 6 kids have died. There was not good reviews at all. Not good. So Seth calls them back and tells them, look, this is not a good place for my son to go. He's not going there. And they said, if you can find a better place, we'll accept that. They can't do anything without Seth's okay. They have joint custody. Seth has just a right to say yes or no, as Katie does. So Seth reaches out for someone to help him. And during this time, this person is looking into schools that would be a right fit for Sebastian. This woman emailed Seth and said, this is a list of the schools that I've put together, the top 4, for you to look into. Seth forwards that email to the Proudfoots. Now, fast forward. Here we are. All these months later, Sebastian's been gone. And then we talk about Green Hoodie. Green Hoodie is a person that was parked adjacent to Katie at Texas Roadhouse the night that Sebastian was last seen. And when you stop and think about the seriousness of this, you have a person get out of their car, walk up to Katie, and all of this is on surveillance video. It has been seen. There looks to be a handoff of something in the parking lot at Texas Roadhouse. There's a conversation that is held. Sebastian stands there with his hands in his pocket. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't react out. He gets in his car. I heard that person looks to be waving goodbye to Sebastian or waving at him, and Sebastian ignored the wave. So then, fast forward, everybody's talking about the green hoodie. Who was the person Katie talked to in the green hoodie? Now, guys, instead of Katie coming out and say, oh, this person is blah, 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 or that person come and ask me directions, or that is an old friend of our families, or whatever, she just lets it go. Well, then it's time to put out an email. Hang on, guys, got to dab my nose. I've been debating on this. I don't want to play it. But if you go to Stephen Crabtree's channel, you can listen to it. I really don't want to play it. But the gist of it is, he talks about him and Cluminati going to the prophet's house, sitting there talking to him. They bring him their laptop to show an email. And his words were he was very confused while they were even showing him this email. And it was told to him that it was time to put this out. This email is the email that Seth forwarded to them. Prior to that, there had been no email conversations. It had all been on the phone. But this email would have looked like Seth wanted him in the home. So to throw some shade onto Seth, that email comes out. Once again, we're playing games with a child's life. Games. Now, not only has that email been put out, guys, there are writings that Sebastian has done. His feelings are written down on paper. And those have been put out as well. The most disgusting thing a parent can do is show every bit of a person's, a child, her child's weakness. It actually makes me want to claw her eyeballs out. Because this child doesn't ask for all this. He's never, ever asked for any of this. And yet they feel the need to take the pressure off of Katie's back and all that suspicion off of Katie by putting an email out that makes Seth look like he's the bad parent wanting to put his son away in a home. Then we're going to show emails where Sebastian has a lot of anger built up in him, a lot of frustration built up in him. It's disgusting. When is enough going to be enough? When are we going to hear a mother plead with everyone to please find her child? Is it ever going to happen? I'm to the point to where, honestly, guys, I don't think it will. Katie does not want her son found, and it is becoming more and more obvious. I would never humiliate my child by putting out their personal feelings that they have written down on a piece of paper. It's disgusting. But all of it's done to take away the fact that there is a person that wore a green hoodie on September the 25th of, February 25th of 2024. It's all to distract away from that person. It's to take the heat off of Katie. That's all there is to this. If that email was so important, it would have been put out in February, 1st of March. But it wasn't. It wasn't important. But they used it as leverage to try and throw some shade onto Seth. And people want to come at me all the time and say, well, you're on Seth's side. I'm on Sebastian's side, people. Just because Katie and Chris make themselves look like idiots, that's on them. Katie's the one that had possession of those written of Sebastian's writing. She had those papers. Seth did not put them out. Katie put them out. And you have got to be the lowest scum on the earth to do that to your child. I keep waiting for Katie to beg for whoever has Sebastian or knows anything about it, about that night, about what happened, about where he could be, to please bring him home. But guys, all we continue to see is stupid games being played here, trying to turn over onto the dad. Just because the mother's not grieving doesn't mean the father has to be dealing with all this crap. And guys, I can sit here and say this is my opinion, but in all honesty, this is facts. Stephen Crabtree himself said he didn't understand the reason of this email being put out now. He was playing dumb, I guess. I don't know. But his words, they said it's time for it to be put out there. They're not going to put it out there. They don't want to be the bad guys. Well, you're a freaking idiot, because everybody knows you had that email and no one else. It's disgusting. And I'm so tired of having to talk about these things. There is intelligent videos or satellite videos or whatever you want to talk or call it or whatever. I get so frustrated. I can't talk right, guys. Sorry. But there are these images, and it's focused around Chris's mother's house. Surprise. But instead of Katie saying, okay, whoever was around that area, please, I beg you to go and look at your cameras. Think back as hard as you can, and please anything to help me find my son. No, she's too busy putting out Sebastian's writings, things he wrote for himself, things that were never meant to be public. Katie just don't seem to care because she does not try to find the answer to where her child is. Now, you can look at everything any which way you want to, but there's distractions being thrown out every which way. And it is so obvious to everybody that's following this case that Katie and Chris do not want Sebastian found. Because if they did, they would at least show up for a prayer vigil to pray for their child, their son. But they can't even do that. Mm-mm. Too much for them. Too much. But it's not too much just to have your buddies put out an email at the right time. There's nobody that can sit here and tell me that email was not held for the right time. Because anything of any kind of importance would have been put out at the very beginning. That email, I want to know, was it given to law enforcement? I bet not. I listened to Justin last night as he's talking, and he reached out to someone that had a connection to one of Sebastian's teachers. And guys, if y'all heard the teacher's response to Justin, it would have broke your heart. There was a meeting about Sebastian. I figure it was probably like an ARD meeting. But Katie and Chris were there, and so was Seth. And she said, the person, that meek mother that we see, is not what she saw that day. You see, at that meeting, it was about Sebastian's behavior. It was about his discipline that needed to be implemented to help him understand he can't get away with doing these things. But at the same time, somebody needed to listen to that child to understand why. All of a sudden, he started acting out that bad. But it didn't happen. So they had to go to the school and have this meeting with this teacher. Now, this wasn't long before Sebastian came up missing. In that meeting, this teacher said that the Proudfoots, Chris, and especially Katie, used Seth as an excuse for all of Sebastian's behaviors. Everything that was bad behavior with Sebastian, they put onto Seth. She said that it was so horrible she felt sorry for Seth because she could tell that Seth truly loved his son and wanted what was right for his son. But Katie and Chris felt the need to once again throw shade at Seth. So, people, as far as my opinion goes, after hearing that teacher who has no skin in the game at all, Katie and Chris are both bullies when it comes to Seth. They push him around. It seems like that's probably the way it's always been. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And I am not looking at Katie anymore as the grieving mother because she doesn't seem to be grieving. There are no signs of her wanting her son home and being a part of an email to make Seth look like the bad person. She was part of that. Keep that in mind. And Katie had Sebastian's writings. No one else. And for them to get leaked out, put out for the whole world to see, that's on his mother. So I want to address Katie. No, thank you, Annabella. Thank you, my sweet friend. Thank you. If you got gifted a membership from Annabella, please, guys, tell her thank you. Okay. I want to address Katie Proudfoot. This is for her. And I hope that somehow, some way she hears this. Katie, be a mother. Stand up for your child. Stand up against anyone who is trying to threaten violence. Stand up for your child. Be that mama bear that Sebastian's always wanted you to be. Katie, tell what you know because you know something. You were in that house with him while he came up missing. Katie, tell the truth. Katie, beg for help. Beg for people to think about that night. Beg for people to tell what they know. Who was around and who wasn't. Beg people to help you find your child. Be active in his search. Be active in his case. Katie, be Sebastian's hero. Katie, bring your son home. You have the answers, Katie. We all know it. It's obvious, Katie. And to you and your husband, you're being looked at, Katie. The two of you are being watched very, very carefully. They know things, Katie. Before it gets too far, be Sebastian's hero and bring him home. We're all out here doing whatever we can to help Sebastian find a way back. And there's a lot of us out here. And we don't all live in the vicinity of being able to search. But we can do what we can do on here. We can put his name out there. We can talk about everything. We can talk about Sebastian. We can put out his flyers where we live. We can tell other people about him. But Katie, it's all going to come down on top of you. And just like with Nina, Chris's family is not going to support you. They will let you hang out to dry. It's just a couple of days. And it will be Sebastian's birthday. That sweet boy will be turning 16. What are you going to be thinking about that day, Katie? What are you, Katie, going to be thinking about on December 7th? Are you going to be thinking about new ways to throw Seth under the bus? Are you going to be digging through everything you have, trying to find something to throw out there as another distraction? Or will you sit quietly, Katie, and think about the day you had that baby boy? Will you think about how funny he was when he was a toddler? How exciting it was to see him as he started developing into a person. You see, Katie, on April 7th, I go sit at my son's headstone at the graveyard. I think about all those things, Katie. You have a chance to try to find your son, and you're pissing it away. And it makes me angry. There's so much that's being put out, Katie. But as a mother, I ask you to be your son's hero. You see, a child loves a parent no matter what. A child will forever have that love for their parent, just like a parent should always have that love for their child, no matter what. Thank you, Blue Eyes. I get so mad, and it's so frustrating because she has a chance to go out and look and find her son, and she's not. I don't get that chance. There's several of us in here. We don't get that chance, and it's so frustrating to me. And I can't help but feel angry at Katie and Chris for all the games that they are playing, because this is not a game. It's not. And they need to stop treating it as if it's a game. This is Sebastian's life we're talking about. And his mother holds the key. There are so many channels talking about Sebastian, so many channels talking about how supportive they are of the mom and dad, the mother, the stepfather. I have a hard time supporting them. And it's eating me up because I don't see anything positive coming from them. And I'm supposed to get on here and talk more about Sebastian and talk and tell about this little boy that's missing, that's fixing to have a birthday. And they turn it into a game. I can't play a game with a child's life. I just can't. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to cry. I really didn't. Hang on. Let me blow my nose. Okay. Thank you, TJ. Yeah. It's disgusting to me, too. It really is. And I get so deep into this. I listen to it day and night. And I get to a point to where when I hear Stephen Crabtree talking about how he wasn't sure what the meaning of this email was or why it should be put out there now. Well, that's obvious. They were saving it for a rainy day. And that rainy day came when Mr. Green Hoodie came into the picture. They needed a distraction. Oh, so many people would have taken Sebastian. I know. So many people would. Yeah. You yeah. It's just frustrating, guys, because I see a mother who possibly might have a chance to find her son, and she's not doing jack shit about it. And there's those of us who have no option at all. We don't have our sons. We'll never have our sons back. Mimi of 6, I'm starting to feel the exact same way. For the longest, I just kept saying, well, she surely had that motherly feeling and instinct. I don't know anymore. Yeah, she did. I believe she does hate Seth. I mean, that's getting to be pretty obvious. Is my makeup all running everywhere? Sorry, guys. I shouldn't have put any on, I guess. I don't know. It's just sad. We sit here and we talk every night, every night, every night. We go over every story. We hear little things that we missed the first time, and that's amazing. But I just hope and pray that Katie and Chris Proudfoot are squirming right now, almost in a panic. But I have a feeling, Christopher, he's not worried because his mommy will always fix it for him. But this is one time, guys, his mommy can't fix it. And I cannot wait for that day that the whole truth, the God's honest truth comes out. Because we are missing a timeline from Texas Roadhouse all the way to 6:03 when she gets on the phone with Chris. To this day, never once have they said, Seth, did Sebastian ever call you that morning, that night? Did he? Did you hear from him? Was he wanting to come to your house? That was never a thought because that wasn't part of the script. And it's disgusting to have a script when there's a child missing. It is horrible. And I don't care if all the clip channels out there want to play my live. I just ask you to play the whole damn thing, not just pieces. Because it seems like anytime I speak directly to the parents, there's those out there that see money. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Now, Not gonna do no research today. I'll just play lollies live and make her look like an idiot. I'm sick of that crap too. TJ, I just get frustrated. I really do. Yeah, Rhonda, I want to scream. I want to scream. And I was talking to Annabella about it this morning. I said, I'm so frustrated, so mad, so angry. This woman has a chance. There is a possibility. Until there's not a possibility, there's always a possibility that her son could still be alive. But I honestly believe that the two of them know exactly where he is and what happened to him. That is my opinion, and that is based on their words and their actions. It's not just something I pulled out of my ass and decided to throw that narrative out there. But when you don't have a mother who begs people to keep looking, don't let his case go cold. He could be somewhere out there. She doesn't have time to do that because she's going to put an email out there to try to make Seth look bad. She's going to put her son's personal writings out there to show his frame of mind. Well, what about your frame of mind, Katie? There's no time to beg. There's no time to look. There's no time to attend vigils for these two because that's not part of their script. The script that keeps played over and over and over, and every time they talk, it's the same exact words. Oh, until Katie decides to throw a wrench or two, and Mr. Foot has to, and he has to reach out to her to steady her, to remind her it's not part of the script. Oh, yeah, TJ. CP will end up being the one to get the deal. Katie's going to pay for it all. That's what I think, Cheryl. I'm telling you, if she was in front of me, I would want to scratch her eyeballs out. Y'all, I'm not joking. It has me so frustrated and so worked up. I want to talk about Sebastian. I want to do as much as I can to help this child. I sat here and had a whole conversation back and forth. It was stupid stuff on Facebook, on a post where they showed that something about the satellite imagery company or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, if you want to know the truth, call them up. My whole point was don't sit here on Facebook and expect to get the God's honest truth. Do your own research, call them up. Call them and find out. Are they legit or not? Very simple. And this woman had to come back at me and say, I'm sorry that you're so with Seth. I could just hear the words as I was reading them. So with Seth. In the most disgusting way, I could just hear it. And I'm like, this has nothing to do with Seth. But that's their answer for everything because they want to go with a grieving mother. Oh, blue eyes. I might just be making me a trip for that trial. Let me tell you. Yeah, Holly, like it's a football game. Oh my gosh. And then she came back and told me that it was put out on X. That account is verified. Yeah, you get an email address and you make a name and a password and you're verified. And I said, no social media site is monitored for accuracy, not even X. And then she was going to argue with me about that. It is a verified account. If you can't see it, then just go over there and sit and talk to Seth. I was like, okay, look, I'm done with you. I'm done with you. That's what I said. I'm done with you. All I wanted to know, all I wanted you to know was there's a way for you to find out yourself. Don't trust in social media because half the time you don't get the truth. America. Hey, I heard about that. I heard about her. I'll tell you what, I saw her father talk and he looked a little sus to me. Had some of that behavior that they talk about on the panels. Yeah, Rhonda, you can't argue with stupid. I was like, I'm not going to sit here and argue with this girl. What am I doing? I was just trying to get her to understand. Check it out yourself. Call. Look them up, call them, make sure they're a legit company. And it turned into a whole different story. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what are these people? And the whole thing was she just threw me over on Seth's side. Yeah, I can't fix it. There was no fixing this girl. I was like, are you serious? Seth had nothing to do with the whole conversation. But that's what the grieving mother does. If you don't say the right words, then you must be on Seth's side. Well, guess what, people? Seth has showed me nothing that puts him in a category. I don't see a CPS case against him when it comes to Sebastian. But we do see several against Christopher, and we at least see one against Katie. So, out of the three, if I had to choose, I'm on Seth's side. I just I don't understand why people have to play games. I don't understand why people feel like it's necessary to throw out an email from damn near almost a year ago. And it was all because they wanted to send Sebastian to a home where 6 kids over that past couple of years had died of suspicious deaths. And that's where Katie and Chris wanted Sebastian to go because they didn't want to wait for the online schooling to accept Sebastian so that he could go to his dad's. They didn't want to wait because Chris's custody case was coming up really fast. And the very day Sebastian goes missing, what does Chris do? Oh, yeah, he tells Nina, just want you to know Sebastian's missing. And she's like, well, Chris, we got the custody case, you know? And he's like, there will be no custody case. Was that part of the script, Christopher? Was that in the script? Is that part of the plan? Because it really, really seems like it is. It really seems like so much of this is freaking obvious. And yet we get talked about because we call out the truth. You know, this is the way I started looking at all that. If I can help somebody's channel grow, go ahead. But I will say this. If you're going to only play parts of my channel, my live that you're going to talk about, and you're just going to show little snippets to make me look bad, I hope you didn't care for your channel too much because it will be gone soon. You play the whole content or you don't play nothing at all. Chris is one of those that, and I was telling my friend this morning or last night, I don't remember when it was, but Chris reminds me of a cousin I have. He was mama's boy. He was always taken care of by his mother. His mother always saw the good in him, never the bad. And let me tell you, he was bad. She always took up for him. She always got him out of trouble at school because she happened to work at the school. All the little things through life. His mother made excuses. My aunt told my grandmother. Now, remind you, my grandmother was in her 90s, but she could still read. She was very conscious of all of her stuffs. And my grandmother did happen to read in the newspaper that my cousin got locked up. But my aunt wanted to keep him looking good, so she told my grandmother he was out of town. My grandmother had a fun time because she rode with me out there, and we would go out there, and she would say, watch Juanita squirm tonight because I'm going to ask some questions. She was aggravating her. But you see, once he lived that life in jail and he got out, and his mama still took care of him. His mom passed away. And to this day, he still expects everybody around him to take care of him. He doesn't have responsibility for himself. And that is how I see Christopher. Because his mother seems to have taken care of all the bad that he's done in his life and have it wiped away. And Mommy Dearest is not going to have any luck in federal prison. That's going to be out of her jurisdiction. And he can be as cocky as he wants to be. And yet he had a chance of getting away with it until the FBI stepped in. And it's a whole new ballgame. Dog and Nick step in. Everybody wants to talk crap about Nick. Well, guess what? We're starting to get something. We're hearing things are happening. We never learned about Green Hoodie Guy. And in my opinion, Sumner County didn't do much to find out about Green Hoodie Guy or even know about Green Hoodie Guy. Because they still wanted to vacation with Mommy Dearest. Nick is such a bad guy, but he has the satellite image of your home. Yes. Nick may not be a perfect person, but I dare anybody to raise their hands and say they are perfect. Because we all have things in our past. Every one of us. We're human. We're not going to sit here and pretend like we have nothing in our past. I will say this. I have never stepped a foot in a jail cell. That's for sure. Yeah, I'm not perfect. Ollie. Is Layla and Ollie downstairs? I heard my son whistling. The dogs are usually up here with me. But guys, we got to stay strong and remember this is not a game. This is Sebastian's life. It's not a game. You don't put out personal, written down, personal information, personal thoughts. It's not right. But that's how desperate they're getting. They have to throw shade on someone. And now it's so desperate for them, in my opinion, that they're throwing it onto Sebastian. The game has to stop. We all need off of this Ferris wheel, this carousel that we seem to be going round and round on. I don't understand the games. And that's what I call it, as a game, because it's not something productive. Putting that email out just caused enough distraction that tonight we're not talking about Green Hoodie Guy. And that was their intent, huh? Because there was an actual proof of a person and a handoff involving Katie Proudfoot with a man, possibly woman, in a green hoodie. We won't forget about it. We're not going to forget about it. No matter what emails you throw out there, no matter what papers that Sebastian have written on and you're going to put out there, we will not forget about evidence. There is an actual video that has been seen and watched by many. And Katie is the one with the handoff. While Sebastian stands there with his hands in his pocket, probably trying to figure out what the hell is going on. I wonder if he knew right then that his hours were very short. I wonder if he knew that. I wonder what he was thinking. I wonder if he was proud of his mother at that moment. I wonder what his last thought was as he left his home. In my opinion, as he was carried out. There is no scent. There's no footprints. The child was in jogging pants and a sweatshirt and no shoes on his feet in very cold weather. But he had just had a wonderful weekend. Make that make sense. It's time, Katie, for you to talk. And Christopher, why don't you start talking too? Oh, America, you saw it? You saw the video of the green hoodie guy? Hmm. Hi, Terry. Yes, Cheryl. So let's have something positive about Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. His smile is worth $1,000,000. I love his smile. What was blacked out? How do you know it was blacked out? Do you have a copy of it? Did someone show it to you? That's what I'm curious about. Oh, you're good, Terry. Yeah. We are going to probably not. If I come on Friday, it's going to be an early stream, like during the daytime stream, because Friday night Seth will be doing a live, and then everybody else is going to jump on and do lives after that. Oh, Melissa, I got some plans. So that's what I was just getting to. So Friday, tomorrow I will come on. My days are all screwed up. Thursday, I'll be back on tomorrow, but Friday, I probably will not because Seth is doing his, and we're all going to be focused in on that. And then everybody else will go live after that to talk about it. So I'm just a baby channel. But Saturday. Saturday, make plans, guys. I have a question though. Y'all need to help me decide. Would 4 o'clock on a Saturday be good? Do we want to go later, earlier? I can do any time Saturday. I thought maybe 4 o'clock would be a good time before everybody else starts getting on and doing their stuff. So if that's good for y'all let me know. Oh, thank you, Mimi6. I enjoy you being here. I'm so happy to have you all with me. 4 sounds good. Okay. Well, let's shoot for about 4 o'clock on Saturday. And oh, blue eyes. Hey, I'm proud of where I'm at. I'm very proud of where I'm at. Okay, so let's shoot for that 4 o'clock timeline. And that way we can do our thing and everybody else will be able to do it. And we can, venture over to their stuff too, because, it's Sebastian's day and we shall support each other that day. But I'm going to give y'all some homework. So you got plenty of time. Okay. Be thinking about what you would say to Sebastian if you could see him on his birthday. So, kind of be thinking about that. Come in with that kind of on your minds. And so, anyways, I got something cool planned, okay? It was like Black Shadows. I click on YouTube. It just slipped on the screen. I don't know the channel. I think it was America. It hasn't been put out in the public yet. Hi, Turtle Talk. But I do have something planned fun that I think is going to be pretty cool. So, planning and organizing is what I do. So I hope y'all enjoy what I got coming up. And I think Sebastian would be proud. Woohoo! Way to go, Terry. So yours would be next Monday. Yay! Awesome. His birthday and my nieces are Sebastian's and my nieces are the same day. And then the next day on the 8th is another niece and a nephew. So, anyways, guys, I'm going to let you go. My eyes are kind of starting to burn from my mascara that I cried a while ago. It's dripping down. But I love you guys. Thank y'all for being here always. Thank y'all for supporting me. Yeah, Pearl Harbor Day. Yeah. Oh, Melissa, big hugs to you. Oh. So, I love you guys. Thank y'all for your support. Thank you guys for everything y'all do for Sebastian. Stay strong because we have to let Sebastian know he's not forgotten. Because if we leave it up to his mommy, I don't know that he would ever know he was loved. And that's my opinion. So, with that, I'm going to say, mwah, love and hugs, everybody. I will see y'all tomorrow. Good night.